Hello everyone, this is Joanna. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I wanted to show you how to make a Vellum Overlay Card, and for that I'm using Altenew Garden Treasure or Treasure Garden. I'm not sure. I think it's Treasure Garden stamp set. It's a layered stamp set, but it also has an outline image that you can use to stamp on top of the vellum. And whichever stamp set that you choose to use, that's what you want. You want to have one that has an outline that you can stamp on top of the vellum and you can see through vellum into the inside of the card. So let's get started. I am going to use 4.5 by 6.5 piece of cardstock. You're more than welcome to use any size that you want. I just like the nice vellum frame around here. It's already scored in half, but I am not going to bend it just yet. I'm just going to place cardstock right on the score line because I want to make sure that I see the score line clearly. It's much easier to stamp when it's not folded. For the ink pads, I'm using Stampin' Up, Blushing Bright, and Flirty Flamingo, and I'm going to start with the bottom layer of the layered stamp set. Now this is the Blushing Bright, and I have only 2 colors but 3 layers. So what I'm going to do with the second layer is what a lot of us are doing. I'm going to take the second layer and use the darker ink and stamp it off, and then stamp it on the image. So you're going to get just a little bit darker shade, but it's not going to be very dark. And now I'm going to go with the third layer, Flirty Flamingo again, the darker color, and I'm not going to be stamping off, just going to go straight on, just like that. See, there you go. So now I'm done with the first flower. I can move on to the second flower, and for that I'm going to mask my original flower. Use Post-it note, cut out the flower, stamp the flower on Post-it note, cut it out, or this is like a removable label that I had. So, and that I'm using for all my masking. And the second flower, it's going to be with Pool Party and Bermuda Bay. Bermuda Bay being the darker color of the two. And once again, I'm going to use Pool Party, the lightest color, first, and I want to make sure that the flowers are overlapping so it looks nice. So we have an overlapping image. Since we are masking, we may as well. Now let me point something out to you. I am using clear blocks. Usually I wouldn't. I use my stamping platform, and this is why I would use stamping platform. It's because sometimes when you don't get a precise impression with the stamping platform, you can go in and easily fix it. You can fix it with a clear block, but it's not going to be perfect. Now, but I really wanted to show you that you can totally use layered stamp sets without the stamping platform. Okay, so now I'm going to use the second layer, Bermuda Bay, stamp it off, and stamp it back on the flower. So we're going to have a little bit darker shade. And the third one, the darkest one, I'm not quite sure how I like those labels. They are not sticking very well, aren't they? They usually last for a few times, but this is only the second time I'm using them. Okay, so now we have the 3 layers, and it is time to start stamping leaves. So I'm going to mask my second flower, and I am going to start, I'm just going to use 2 layers, the first layer and third layer. For the leaves, I don't think it's really necessary to go in such a huge detail with them. I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz and only for the darker color. And I am going to stamp beyond. Let me see which one is that. That's I almost got the wrong one. I'm going to stamp beyond the paper, and you will see why once we're going to start embossing vellum. Oops. It looks really nice when those leaves just flow off the paper, and you'll see exactly what I mean in just 1 second. Alright, almost there. Like I said, the stamping platform is magnificent, especially if you would be making more than one of those. It goes so much faster when you have a stamping platform. And like I said, you can get the images lined up a little bit easier. But if you don't have the platform, you can see that you can still manage to do this. And this outline that I'm stamping right now is also going to be the outline that I'm going to stamp on the outside for the vellum. Alright, so now we are done with stamping. Yay! Let's take the masking off, which I love. This is like a reveal moment. Look how neat it looks. Alright, looks very nice. I love it. We're gonna, but now we can bend it. And where is my scoring blade? The bone folder. There. Nice. And I'm going to grab my vellum, and we're going to start working on the outside of it. Now, I was having a hard time figuring out where the middle of vellum was, so what I did was I created a frame that is dead center in the card, and you know what? It is not dead center in the card. I'm not quite sure what I did. I must have cut out the wrong size. Oh well, but this is gonna have to work for me. So basically what I do is, in the past, I would put slip the frame inside, and I would attach it here to the bottom so it would not move. And then I would know, see, okay, so this is what I did wrong. When I was cutting out the frame, because I just cut it out from a thicker cardstock, the frame actually should have been covering the whole entire area here. You see, my old ones are like that too. Yeah, they're all, so I must have messed up with my measurements somewhere. But it still gives you a pretty good idea as to where the middle is. So that way you can just take and put some glue on your note card, and you will, it's not going to be as hard for you to figure out where to place it. So just make sure that your vellum is all the way to the top of the frame, and we're going to place it down, and we know that this is the middle. Now I'm going to, just to help me out, I'm going to put some more tape here just to hold it down while I am going to be doing the embossing. Alright, so now the first thing in embossing, you know, especially in vellum, yep, embossing buddy. You have got to put embossing buddy on. I'm going to, let me just clean up here a little bit. Embossing buddy is going on, and now we have a Versamark, and the first step is going to be to take the outline stamp, Versamark on, and here we go stamping, and hopefully we'll get it right. Alright, let's see what we got. I am, in my original card, I was using silver. I'm going to use gold today. So, let's see how we did that. Alright, that's not bad. Now, you probably know, if you have embossed vellum in the past, that you don't want to get it too hot because it crimples. So I'm getting the heat gun really hot, and you just want to barely make sure that it melts. Okay, so now I'm done with this. Oh, actually, you know what? The bottom is not done. And this side. Okay, so now I'm going to mask this, because I'm going to stamp my other flower. So let's mask this. And get ready to, oh yeah, I need to put embossing buddy on. And just reposition it really quickly, just so that it's sitting right there. You go. And now we're going to vellum Versamark, and onto the vellum. And at the same time, I am going to use my outline for the two leaves that are right here. And honestly, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Because it's just going to be peeking through the vellum. But you still want to somehow position it so it's somewhat in the right area. Anything extra goes off. And once again, we have the heat gun going. Just heating up the heat gun. And now we're done. So now the only thing that we have left is to mask this last flower and figure out which way you're supposed to be putting the masking. And once again, embossing buddy. And where's my leaf? There is my leaf. And we're going to do the last of the leaves, and our card is going to be done. Sorry, I didn't mean to blow you guys in the ear. And once again, last time. This is the last time that you guys have the buzzing in your ear. And the heat gun was still hot. And this, my friends, is it. Thank you for watching. Ta-ta.